Welcome to Covered in Pet Hair, a boozy show for pet lovers on Pet Life Radio. I'm your host, Isabel Alvarez-Arata, and today I have the pleasure of having a drink and a chat with the Crocheting Cat Behaviorist. Welcome back to Covered in Pet Hair. I'm your host, Isabel Alvarez-Arata, and today I have the pleasure of having a drink and a chat with a pet parent, a cat trainer, and behavior consultant. She's an entrepreneur, a former vet tech. She's a cat rescue volunteer, originally from Sandy, Utah, and currently lives in Murray, Utah. She's wife to Tom, mom to human daughters, Kira and Brenna. She is a cat mom to Mowgli, Ray Ray, and Juju. And she is a fan of the movie Mutts, but not a fan of people who don't listen to her advice. She makes custom calming blankets for cats, and she calls herself the Crocheting Cat Behaviorist. Her name is Pam Webster. Welcome, Pam. It's so good to have you on the show.
Thanks for having me.
It's my pleasure. Did I forget one of your cats?
No, you said all three.
Oh, you have three. Okay. I don't know why when I was saying that, I was like, I think she has 4 cats. No, thank goodness. I got that right. All right. Well, before I get to know you and your cats and your blankets, I want to introduce our drinking game today. So anybody at home watching, anytime you hear this word, make sure you take a drink of whatever you're enjoying, but please be over 21 to partake in an alcoholic beverage. Never drink and drive, and always drink responsibly. So what are you having, Pam, over in sunny Utah?
I'm just having water.
Water. You're like a cat. You just want fresh water.
Yeah.
Well, today is actually not sunny in Sun City, and I'm having a pick-me-up, an iced coffee. I have this creamer that I discovered. It's not really a big discovery. It's Starbucks caramel macchiato creamer. They sell it at Costco in these big jugs, and my husband and I are obsessed. So here, cheers to you. Thank you for being my guest. I'm so excited to get to know you.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I always look at this. I have whipped cream on my face. It's a good thing I don't have any cats, because there would be a cat licking out of this glass for sure. All right. So my first game today, because I always introduce this show with a game, is all about calming cats. So I've called this game Calm Your Cat. Are you ready to play?
I am.
All right. So this game is all about cats and stress and how we calm them down. And since this tends to be something that you're kind of you specialize in, I wanted to pick your brain about things that can stress our cats out, what it looks like, et cetera, et cetera. So here are a few questions that I had for you on this topic. The first one is, when you use the word calming, does that mean that it is de-stressing?
Yes.
Okay, so they're synonymous.
Yes.
Perfect. Is it common for cats to be stressed?
It can be, yes.
Yes. Are cats usually calm or not calm based on their personalities?
It's not really personality. It's just depending on what's going on in their lives at that moment.
Got it. What causes cats to be not calm or stressed out?
Well, if there's like some kind of a fighting animal in their area, or outside, or just a rambunctious kid running around, something that can just really make them freak out, and they're just
Yeah, there's a lot that can stress cats out. Like, I feel like
yes.
Cats, when it comes to like cats versus dogs in general tend to be a little more like adjust a little bit better. Cats take a little bit longer. Is that your experience? Yeah,
they can be.
Anything new for cats is like, okay, what's this? Because they distrust it, I think, a little bit more than dogs.
Yeah.
They have to. They're prey and predator, right? All right. Yes. So next question. What does a not calm cat look like?
Well, for one, they can have their fur standing on end, and they're just all hunched up, the whole scaredy cat look.
Yeah.
And that's when you're just like, okay, you need to calm down. Let's get you out of this situation, and we'll just get you distressed there.
Yes. Okay. Other than your blankets, which you use to provide calm, and we're going to discuss in the second part of the show, what approaches do you take as a behavior consultant to help people calm their cats?
Well, for one, like if I'm working with the cats over at PetSmart that I work with, if they get freaked out for some reason, like it's a big dog coming in, wild kids running them amok in the store, I quickly grab them and just take them over to the cat toy with the cat trees and the sometimes loose catnip, and they just relax almost instantaneously, and it's great. So
That's
just
awesome.
yeah,
engaging with them, kind of getting the distraction, right? I do that with my 2-year-old daughter. I have to distract her.
Yeah, much the same thing.
Otherwise they get really worked up. Okay. And then let's see. The last question I have for you is, can something that helps certain cats calm down actually like rev other cats up? Is it really kind of like a trial and error kind of a situation?
It can be. It can be. Because I have my Maine Coon right over here, but sometimes he's just so calm one minute, and then trying to do stuff with him, and then he gets just so riled up and just acts like a kitten bouncing off the walls. It's just like, okay, come on, you're a senior. Come on, calm down.
I have an 11-and-a-half-year-old dog that's like that. That like she's usually really mellow, but the second playtime starts, you're like, wait a second. Where has this energy been? All right, so tell me, you started as a vet tech in the pet industry. How did you end up choosing that career?
I actually did it in high school, and then just got right after I graduated, just took that summer off, and I got hired as a vet tech and just did it for about a couple years. And just the downfall of that is, for one, we just were not getting paid a lot back then.
Yeah.
And real big kicker for me to quit was I had my mouth ripped open, and it's just like, okay, guys, I know it was my fault, but we're just not paid enough for this kind of crap.
No, that is basic. You just described the pet care industry, like when it's hands-on, the hands-on pet care industry. None of it pays enough for the dangers we put ourselves in, but the passion is there, right? So we want to work with pets, and we want to work with animals and help them. But yes, sometimes it can be really scary and really dangerous, and it definitely can be a risk. So you went from vet tech immediately to a cat behavior consultant?
No. This was like 20 years ago. So I took a bit of a break with my kids, and then I figured, okay, when my oldest was a senior, I figured, you know what? I think I'm going to go ahead and start this up again. And I did the schooling, and then I only did it in about 6 months. And
you went to Animal Behavior College, right?
Yeah.
Why did you choose that? Just curious. What attracted you to that course?
Well, I mean, I've always been interested in cat behavior, so I just figured, oh, I like this. Okay, we've got money. Okay, I'm doing it.
Was the course like really what you expected it to be?
It was actually a big refresher course for me from being a vet tech. So I was just like, I know this stuff already. All right, perfect.
All right, so what is your favorite part about working with cats?
Well, just probably how I have noticed a lot of the cats I have worked with, they come to me kind of just super shy and reclusive and all that. And I've had a lot of people realize that after me working with them, they become more open and just, they de-stress big time. Yes. And they love it that I take them out for walks in the store, and the cats love it too. So I mean, I think it's really important to remind people that training is not just behavior modification. A lot of it can be really like confidence building, right? Yes. And that is a big part of what I do with the super shy ones. So it's just like, okay, we're going to have a little play session, just you and me for a bit. And then we'll work on going for a walk outside to socialize a bit with people. And we just go from there.
Yes, I was looking at your website, and I love that you have behavior modification courses or one-on-one sessions. And then you also have training for harness and leash training. And I love that, because cats, sometimes that's a really great option for a cat. Have you seen people embracing that more these days?
Especially when I'm walking around the store, they're just like, whoa, I've never thought I'd see a cat on a leash. And it's just like, it's actually not too hard, but not all cats will take to it. Because I have worked with some that absolutely refused. So like,
because of playtime. They just aren't comfortable like with that restriction of being on a harness. Yeah, that makes sense.
And I did tell the girl who adopted them, there might be ones for backpack though. So
that's a really good idea. Yeah, I did an interview with Kitty Cat Go, Emily Hall, and she helps people also adventure with their cats. And I think it's people that like you and Emily who are kind of normalizing cats outside is so important, because that's such an enriching experience for cats. And I was recently at the Whole Foods here in El Paso, Texas. El Paso is like not your typical like pets everywhere. Like I see pet mistakes everywhere I go here. Like people are not as educated, unfortunately, as I wish they were. And there's a guy sitting at the cafe with his cat on a leash, and that cat is happy as a clam. And I was like, this is the first time I've seen a cat on a leash in all of El Paso. I was so excited because the place was packed, and you could tell that people were kind of looking around being like, this is a thing now? And it is a thing now. That is so awesome. Well, I want to take a break right now. And when we come back, I want to talk more about your crocheting history. And you're going to help teach me about crochet, because my grandmother crocheted, but I don't know anything about crocheting. So don't go anywhere. I'll be right back with the Crocheting Cat Behaviorist. Welcome back to Covered in Pet Hair. I'm your host, Isabel Alvarez-Arata. And today I'm talking to Pam Webster, the Crocheting Cat Behaviorist. And she's going to help me learn about crocheting. And I think a lot of us are going to learn a lot about crocheting today. In our second game, it's called Crochet Cat. Are you ready to play?
I sure am.
Okay, so let me tell you a little bit about this game. This game comes from trivia about crocheting that I found on a website called jarn.com. That's JAARN.com, which I thought was a cool name for a website about crocheting. And so this is basically a true or false game. And I'm going to ask you the questions. And if I don't expect you, just because you crochet very well, to know all these answers, but it's going to be fun to learn together. Here we go. The word crochet means small hook. True or false?
I don't know. Maybe.
True. It is true. Crochet comes from the French language, the word crochet. True or false?
Yes.
True. During the potato famine in Ireland, during the 1840s, there was a great deal of suffering and poverty. The Ursuline sisters set up crochet centers around the land, which produces crochet items, which were then sold to rich English aristocrats to provide a steady income to many Irish families. Is this true or false?
I believe that one's true.
It is true. Isn't that fascinating?
Yeah.
The first appearance of the word crochet and instructions for the technique were first printed in 1823 in a French magazine called Penelope. True or false?
I believe that's true.
It actually was a Dutch magazine, but it was called Penelope. Okay. That was a tricky one.
Yes.
This is an interesting factoid. The longest crochet chain in the entire world is a staggering 80.78 miles long. True or false?
Wow. That one I don't know.
It's true. It was made by a French woman, Anne Vanier Drussel. The crochet chain took just over 5 months to complete.
Wow.
Starting on the 15th of June, 2008 and finishing on November 26, 2008. So this was pretty recent. Who knew?
Wow.
Crocheting improves a variety of skills, including your hand-eye coordination, creativity, logic, mathematics, and patience.
Yes.
The last word is why I've never taken up crocheting, because I have zero patience.
Yeah.
All right. Schools, hospitals, and nursing homes use crocheting as a way to relieve stress and help people focus. True or false?
True.
it is true. So apparently it helps with overactive kids, those with mental health difficulties. I think I think that it kind of like makes you focus on one thing, so your active mind just calms down. Is that right?
Yeah, or you're bored off your butt after surgery. Hey, you got any crochet? Perfect.
Is that how you got into crochet?
I was taught when I was 8. So,
Oh, really? Who taught
yeah,
you?
my mom taught me. And then, let's see, I think it was both my grandma and my great grandma. And then I taught both my girls. And only my youngest still crochets, but whatever.
It's like in vogue to knit and crochet now. Like it's very in right now. There's like specialty stores. People are making such great stuff. One of my friends, I don't know if it's crocheted or knit because I don't know how to tell the difference, but she made she made her daughter this little hat that looks like a Cabbage Patch doll with like pigtails. And my 2-year-old, she's almost 3, but she has hardly any hair. So when she wears that, she is so happy because she looks like a real life doll with long hair. And so there's so many things you can do. Exactly. There's so many things you can do with crochet. And you settled on making these blankets for cats that you say are calming. So explain that concept to me about a calming crocheted blanket for cats.
Okay, well, I had just made some for my cats, and they fell in love with them so much that every time I make something, they automatically assume it's for them. It's like, okay, well, that calms you down, so that's for you, and that's for you. And so I just figured I'd branch it out, and so I make blankets for the rescue, and I have it so that one can go home with each kitten or cat that's adopted, and I've just built on it. So
that is awesome. Okay, so I have all these questions. Cats have always been portrayed as playing with yarn. Is it just like the feeling of the yarn that they're attracted to?
They like the movement too.
The movement too.
Because mine have to sit with me too while I'm making it, and they're just like, oh, movement. Gotta get that movement.
That's true. I like that. Yeah, like it's like enriching for them. Okay, so you make custom like themed blankets. So I've seen like Pikachu and like all sorts. Tell me, where do you get your inspiration for the themes of these blankets?
Well, I just figure, okay, let's try and just not have them just so boring, and let's try and spice it up a bit. And all of my family and I, we love Pokemon, so it's just like, let's go with a bunch of Pokemon ones. And I've already done some Harry Potters way back, and it's just like, okay, let's build on this. Let's build. Okay.
I love it.
And then just trying to figure out, okay, which Pokemon now? What do we want the background coloring to be? And just figuring it out. And my youngest daughter is my apprentice, and we just kind of tag team on this and say, okay, what should we have matched together this time? So
your blankets, are they thick enough that you just put them down somewhere, or are they something you can add to a bed? You can add to like a cat tree. What uses do you have for them?
You can put them wherever, and I have even turned some of them into human calling blankets too. And only for me so far, but but I am working on one for my daughter. So
what is the calming effect of the knit blanket or the crocheted blanket for humans? Like, is it a little bit heavier than most? What does it have that makes you calm?
They're warm. They're definitely nice and snuggy and warm. So
yeah. And they're really pretty to see. I really like the styles that you have. And I love that they're customizable. So let's say that I want to get an Eagles, the football team, like logo on them.
Yeah, and I can just look it up, get it going, and there we go.
What's the creative process? I mean,
I just obviously have pictures and just go off of it.
And then you have yarns of different colors and
I just make sure I got the perfect color or hopefully next to the perfect color, and just go. So,
that's awesome. How long does it take to make a blanket?
As long as I've got the time, about a day and a half.
A day and a half? How many hours would you say you're working for the cat size? How many hours in that time are you working?
Oh, maybe about total of 12, maybe. So, and I'm really quick too. So
Wow.
People
That
working and they're just like, how can you do it so fast? And then you could also do it not like, yeah, many years.
Yes, exactly. My grandmother was the same way. She would just kind of like talk
Yeah,
and
just come
chat
on,
and
la, 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 look around.
yeah, yeah. Yeah, long ago, women would meet up to knit together, to like
Mhm,
crochet
mhm.
together. They would sit there and, gossip and knit
Yeah.
and crochet. Yeah. I remember seeing my grandmother and her friends do that. So what's your plan for, what you going to continue making these blankets? Do you have goals to expand, to partner with anybody? What are your plans?
Well, right here, right now, my only potential partner is going to be my daughter once she eventually graduates from both high school and this at them. Yeah. So,
Yeah.
but yeah, she's determined. She wants to be my apprentice. Like, you got it, and she's already clicked into everything, and just she gets it. And she even
And
tries to tell her friends, "This is what you need to do," but they listen to me, mom, because I'm just a stupid teenager. Sorry.
oh, it doesn't get better when it comes to dog training, cat training, behavior
Uh-huh,
modification.
uh-huh.
Nobody listens to you. They want like
They want a
I
quick
always
fix.
say this. Yeah, they want a quick fix. They want the little magic pill that makes whatever
Yeah,
behavior go
yeah,
away. It takes a very
yeah.
special person to work one-on-one with pet parents because pets are so special to us and like
Mhm.
our children, it's hard to
Yeah,
hear negative feedback about what we're doing or what we could
yeah,
do better. It's hard. It kind of
yeah,
chips at your self-esteem a little bit. But it's important for her to go in knowing that people are, no matter how old she is, they're
yeah,
always going to be
yeah.
like, that sounds like a lot.
Mm-hmm. And the drama from hearing from the 14-year-old, and she's over there nodding her head. So yeah,
But that's awesome that she wants to continue the family business. I have two
yeah,
kids and I always wonder, my husband's military, I'm, pet care. So I
yeah,
wonder if they'll even do any of those things or they'll just do their own thing.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
I love talking to you. Tell us more about how my audience can learn more about your blankets and maybe order one for themselves.
Okay, well, I am both on Facebook and Instagram under the Crocheting Cat Behaviorist. And then there's also my website, which is the CrochettingCatBehaviorist.com. And you can always reach out to me, and all my other information is on the website too. So,
Absolutely. You have all your website's great. You have everything laid out. Is there some kind of behavior modification that you specialize in? Like, is there something that you are like, this is my like sweet spot when it comes to cat training
um, I think it's really the whole getting shy cats to come out more. So,
out of their shell?
I was working with one a year ago, and it was in October, and yes, she's black, and we had to deal with black cat prejudice with her while we were working with her,
Ugh,
yes, my daughter was with me at the time, and she tried to pipe off at them. You realize that's just a myth, and they just blew her off. But it's
yeah.
just like, okay, you know what? She's my most reclusive one, and I had to deal with that. Okay, guys, is anybody specifically interested in her? No, not her directly. Okay, we're taking her.
That's your
So,
black cat. I've seen her on your
yes,
Insta. Yes.
yes, yep. So that's
That
my
is
juju.
awesome.
Yep.
Oh, good juju then, right?
Yes. I mean, she went from this totally reclusive little thing, and she was only about 7 months old. And the baby brought her home. Ray ran into her with his favorite toy and said, "Come play with me. Come on."
Oh.
And they are the best of friends.
That is
So,
wonderful. I love that
yeah.
story. That is so
Oh,
awesome.
yeah.
Lucky Juju, lucky girl. She ended
Mhm.
up in the right house. Well, I just want to propose a toast to you for taking the time to chat with me. Thank you so
Yeah.
much. And thank you for helping all those kitties.
Oh, yeah. I love it.
I can tell. I can totally tell that your heart's in it. I also want to propose a toast to my executive producer, Mark Winter. Thank you, Mark. And to our audience for joining us for these fun conversations and getting to know the awesome people in the pet industry. Here's to a life covered in pet hair, because there's no better way to live. Cheers. To learn more about Covered in Pet Hair, please visit coveredinpethair.com or petliferadio.com. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.